Greetings, Artful Manifestors. Thank you for joining me today for this timeless pick a card tarot reading. To choose your reading, you're going to choose from one of the crystals I'm going to introduce or one of the cards that I'm about to reveal. And then go to the description box below, click that more, and you'll see a link to all the readings as well as a list of all the cards that I used during the reading. And I want to let you know that I always align my intentions for your highest and best good for each and every reading that I do for you. All right. For the first reading, we have an amethyst point. And for the second reading, a white agate crystal skull. And for the third reading, Shungite pyramid. All right, let's look at the cards. For reading number one, this is the image. For reading number two, this is the image. And for reading number three, this is the image. Let your intuition guide you. Whichever image or crystal you're most drawn to is most likely the reading meant for you. Of course, if you're drawn to two or even all three of the readings, feel free to watch more than one as there may be additional messages for you there. Hello, reading number one. You chose the card Procrastination. If you have been procrastinating on something in particular, or perhaps this is something that you seem to struggle with usually, then this is the reading for you. Today we're going to find out what is causing that procrastination and what you can do to work past it. And the crystal that you chose is this beautiful amethyst point. The pointed formation of this amethyst directs the energy upward, outward, focusing the mind toward higher states of awareness. It acts like a lighthouse for spiritual downloads, guiding you toward wisdom, insight, and communion with your higher self. The procrastination is a lack of clarity. Amethyst radiates a calming, soothing energy that eases anxiety, grief, and overthinking. It's said to transmute chaotic thoughts into clear streams of intuition, bringing equilibrium to both heart and mind. I love how the universe works, that we pulled the card Procrastination to go with this particular crystal. Since ancient times, amethyst was regarded as a shield against intoxication of wine, of illusion, of toxic energies. Its violet ray purifies and seals your aura, helping you stand strong in environments of confusion or negativity. And you can use it as a gateway to dream and vision. You can sleep with it near your bed. It can help improve your dream recall, and open gateways into visionary experiences. It's a wonderful ally for healers and people who like to travel through the mind's eye. It bridges the waking and the dream realms. And it resonates with the crown and third eye chakra, enhancing your spiritual sight. It's great for meditation. And because it's a point, it channels energy like a wand. So you can hold it and use it to help you bring you clarity in times of confusion, connecting to your higher self. So let's find out more about what's causing this confusion, procrastination, and how you might clear that. And what will happen if you do? All right, we have Oracle of Pentacles. Fertility, abundance. Okay, interesting. Five of Wands. I love the images on these cards. Three of Cups. All right. You know, immediately I'm drawn to this Five of Wands. We said that the amethyst acts as a wand, the point, the amethyst carved into a point, or maybe it's grown into a point. It acts as a wand. It focuses your attention. And what we see is the Five of Wands, but it's, if you've ever seen a dog or a couple of dogs fighting over the same stick, right? Think of that stick as a wand, but now you have five of them fighting over the same wand. The wand is what you're giving your attention to, what you're working to create, what you're creating, working. It's divided by five. It's like you're being pulled in five different directions. It's the inner voices, the inner conflict, scattered energy. That's the word I was looking for. The wands are energy, and your energy is being pulled in five different directions because your focus is in five different directions, or more, or three. It's scattered. It's like the buzzing of a beehive. All energy, noise, activity, but there's not a single direction. Your clarity is clouded because you have these voices inside you all speaking at once. It's not because you're lacking wisdom. Each wand is a part of you. Each dog is a part of you. Each voice, your passion, your duties, your dreams, your responsibilities, your fears, they're all competing for your attention and energy. And so it's like you're being pulled in different directions. And having the Oracle of Pentacles come first, this is like the Queen of Pentacles. It also tells me that you may be overworking, and there's a part of you that wants you to play. Just like when you see dogs competing over a stick, they're playing. So, that saying, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, right? So the procrastination may be your self trying to get you to take a pause and work with your own rhythms, your own cycles. We see the fertility goddess, the honeycomb. This is all about planting, gestating, birthing. We see the sweetness of the honey. We also see this intricate structure. There is the alchemy of the bees turning nectar into liquid gold. And so there's an idea that sometimes procrastination is not avoidance, but incubation. Your soul doesn't always align with linear time. Sometimes we pause because we're unconsciously waiting for that fertile moment when energy, inspiration, and cosmic timing converge. What feels like procrastination may actually be your intuitive refusal to act before the nectar has ripened and become honey. It can also mean that you're over nurturing others. You're working too much. Maybe you're over nurturing work, or you're over nurturing with your family or your clients, and you're not filling your own cup enough. You're not taking time to enjoy some of this honey. So you want to make sure that you are receiving nurturance as well. The honeycomb is just perfect. So I'm also getting a message that one of these voices is fear, because you're trying to be perfect. And that is causing this delay. Yeah, it's just scattered energy, scattered thoughts. So Spirit is guiding you to begin to recognize when you feel intuitive nudges to wait for the right conditions versus when you are paralyzed by fear or disoriented by scattered thoughts and scattered energies. And so what they're showing me is you coming up with a signal from your higher self, asking your higher self to embody you. Settle in like you're going to do a meditation, and this doesn't have to take very long. Settle in, get comfortable in your body, get comfortable where you're sitting. Sit up straight or stand. Take in some deep, clearing, cleansing breaths. See a light in your heart expand. Expand beyond your body and ask your higher self to embody you. And then ask your higher self to give you a signal that means yes. Now, this might feel like an itchy ear or the tingling of some part of your body. So be aware of all of a sudden you feel an itch. That might be your yes. It might feel like a lifting or a lightening or a pull. You might feel a flutter, a buzzing. Just notice what you feel when you embody your higher self and ask for them to show you yes. Once you have done that, then begin practicing connecting with your higher self with things that you don't have a lot of risk. So, for example, you get dressed in the morning. The first outfit that you grab, hold it up to yourself and ask. Maybe there's two outfits that you're torn between, right? Hold one up, hold it in your hands, press it against you, and ask your higher self, is wearing this in my highest good, for my highest good? And see if you get that same tingle or itch or buzzing or lightning feeling that you got when you asked your higher self for the yes. And you can ask for a no as well, if that helps you. And the no may be, maybe yes is the right side of your body, maybe no's the left side of your body, or vice versa. Maybe yes feels like a lifting and no feels like a heavy pulling down. You'll know. Just be aware of anything that you feel. It might feel like, oh, I can't get comfortable. I'm trying to get comfortable connecting to my higher self, and I have this itchy toe or this energy running through my body. That might be the signal. So be aware of it and just practice it. And here's the key. If your higher self says that particular outfit is for your highest good to wear that day at that time, act on it. Follow the guidance of your higher self. Maybe you go get a snack and you have an apple and a banana. Hold the apple first. Ask your higher self, is this in my highest good to consume right now? Then with the banana, whichever one it is that you get that yes from, act on it. If it's neither, then maybe it's wanting you to not eat in that moment for whatever reason. The more that you practice this skill and then follow through with the guidance that your higher self gives you, then the more clarity you'll have, the more focus you have. You'll have less scattered thoughts, less scattered energy, and less procrastination. And you'll begin to understand the rhythms of when you're incubating and when your higher self is telling you to pause because conditions are going to become more aligned and more fertile for that seed that you're planting, and when you're maybe there's just confusion. But there won't be confusion because you'll be practicing talking to your higher self and getting this clarity. I love this message for you, reading number 1. And we haven't even gotten to the 3 of Cups yet. The 3 of Cups is celebration, kinship, shared joy. This is you and your higher self overflowing with joy, because you're aligning with your highest good. You're embodying your higher self. And it's going to ripple outwards. Remember, we talked about if you're always giving to others, but you're not nurturing yourself, that can cause this debilitation, this forced pause to where you feel like you can't do anything. And that's your body saying, well, you got to fill your own cup. When you start to connect with your higher self in this way, asking it for small things at first, is this in my highest good? And then start to work your way up towards things that are more and more meaningful, that feel like they have a little more weight, or there's more at stake. And what my guides are telling me is you're going to find out that it's all meaningful, that outfit is meaningful for whatever reason. Maybe it's the material it's made out of. Maybe it's the color that you're meant to wear that day that's going to attract something or make you feel a certain way. The same thing with the food. They're telling me that everything is going to be meaningful. You're going to find out that all of these acts are meaningful. And as you align, your actions are going to magnetize the right people to you, just as the flowers draw honey, honey bees, and your aligned energy draws companions, people, connections who celebrate with you, collaborate with you, and amplify your joy, just like a crystal could amplify your energy. And the 3 of Cups are vessels. It's your body, your mind, and your spirit collaborating, working together, overflowing into one another. And this leads to expanded creativity, artistic expression, soulful work, and offerings that feel nourishing instead of draining. The outcome is not only clarity of action, but a shift in tone. You will find yourself acting with delight rather than duty, and your voice will recognize that. Your body language will, I said recognize, but I guess what I meant is emulate that, and other people will recognize it. Just as your body language will emulate that joy, and other people will see it. Even if they're not consciously aware of it, their subconscious mind is still going to pick up this shift in the vocal patterns and the vocal tones that you're speaking being different. It's this whole joy as medicine, rather than obligation or duty, which feels heavier. It goes back to getting the clarity with your higher self. That heavy feeling is your higher self saying no. Or that tired, fatigued feeling. That procrastination is your higher self saying no, not right now, not that. So tapping into that yes or no communication with your higher self is key. It's vital. And it will begin to dissolve any procrastination, and the joy becomes your fuel. You're always going to be acting in alignment with your higher self, and it's just going to be so enlightening. It lightens your energy body. It raises your vibration, your frequency, and you just emulate this glow, this joy, and you flow and you experience this shared sweetness and celebration with yourself and with others. It ripples out and it's going to have a positive impact in your life in multiple areas, in all areas, and in all the people, with all the people that you interact with. Wow. Reading number 1. This is amazing. And all the cards that I pulled today seem kind of heavy, procrastination. Reading number 2 is victim consciousness, and 3 is pride. And of course, I haven't done those readings yet, but when I saw that in the intro, I was like, wow, this seems kind of heavy, but this is actually an amazing reading, and I'm so excited for you. If you begin to practice this way of communicating with your higher self, please come back and tell me, or if you're already doing it, let us know the progress. I love to read about how these readings are interpreted and apply to your personal life. It brings me joy. I'm wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye. Hello, reading number 2. You chose the card Victim Consciousness, card number 12. So if you feel that things are always going wrong, why are these things always happening to you? Why is it always you? Why don't people like you? You can't catch a break. If you find yourself thinking these kinds of things, feeling these kinds of things, or even saying them out loud, like, why me? Why does this always happen? It could be like every time you go to the restaurant, they bring you the wrong meal. It's not what you ordered, or it's not the way you asked for it. It can be small things like that, or, you fix your car because it broke down, only to find the next thing is the washing machine breaks down. It just seems like there's always something going wrong. If that's you, then this reading is for you. So we're going to find out how to shift that. The crystal skull is made of white amethyst, and immediately I'm getting that your ancestors are with you at this time to help you shift this belief, this energy that you've been experiencing. The crystal skull, the shape of this white amethyst, shaped as a skull, is an amplifier of consciousness. It's not about death, but about continuity of wisdom through lifetimes. And it becomes a vessel through which ancestral and collective memory can be accessed in a safe, gentle way. It holds the paradox of purity, because it's white, and ancient depth, because it's a skull. It's known for, white agate itself is known for soothing, cleansing energy. It balances yin and yang. It helps calm nervous tension and harmonizes the aura. It helps dissolve emotional noise so you can hear the deeper voice of your soul. I'm going to let you look into its eyes. Hopefully I'm holding that at the right angle. Agates have been used across cultures as talismans of safety. White agate especially creates a gentle, soft, protective field, like a veil of moonlight. It doesn't block intensity harshly, but it filters it gently, letting in what is pure and reflecting away what is harmful. And that's what you're being guided to do, is to filter energy. Thoughts are not things, and we are not our thoughts. So that's, just what my guides are telling me to tell you. All right. White agate also connects us to childlike purity and the remembrance of original spirit. It helps you return to your natural state of wonder and openness, softening cynicism and restoring faith in the goodness of life. I mean, it's just like the first reading, the crystal that came out with the card, or the card that came out with that crystal, just they align perfectly. I love it. All right, let's find out about how we can shift these thought patterns. If you hear noises in the background, that is Torvi doing her morning shake and stretch. If you're interested in what my dogs look like, I've posted pictures of them on Instagram. I'll have to post some new ones soon. You can follow me on Instagram. All right. I'm hearing law of attraction. Okay, 2 cards flew out. The 2 of Pentacles and the Empress. Oh, look at these little otters. They're so cute. We have a sea turtle and an otter. All right, here we go. Ace of Swords. All right. The 2 of Pentacles is why you're experiencing these things. It seems like they're happening to you, right? Just like these boats. You look at the boats and they're being tossed about by the waves, and you feel like, well, I can't control the waves. I can't control how I'm being tossed about by life. But the thing is that you're not these boats. You're the turtle. All right. These 2 boats on the waves represent the outer world, the tides of circumstance, the unpredictable ups and downs of life. And, the other thing is they're still afloat. They go with the waves. They do symbolize this outside story. The Spirit wants you to know that there are external factors. But they also symbolize this outside story that can pull you into that victim consciousness if you identify too closely with what looks like their instability. You know, you're looking at these and identifying with them, but you're actually on the shore. You're the turtle. And I'm hearing where the attention goes, the energy flows. So you are looking at these boats and it's like when you watch a movie, maybe you watch a scary movie and you start to feel scared. Your heart starts racing, your body tenses, you're at the edge of your seat. You know, maybe you're clutching somebody close to you or a pillow, or you're embodying the energy of what you're seeing on that screen. And that's what they're showing me that you're doing. And instead, they want to remind you that you're actually the turtle. The turtle is ancient wisdom, patience, endurance. It carries its home on its back, right? Moving slowly and deliberately, unlike the boats. It chooses when to return to the sea, when to come to land, and it embodies cycles, just as the sea ebbs and flows. It has the cycles of land, sea, breath, immersion, because they hold their breath and they go below the surface. Earth, they come on land, water, they swim. The turtle shows you that you are not the boats. You are the one who contains both the shore and the sea. And you have your home within you. You have that sovereignty. When you believe you're as fragile as these little boats tossed by waves of life circumstances, then you lose connection to your own inner steadiness. You disempower yourself. When you believe things are always happening to you and that those things are negative and that you are a victim of circumstances, then you disempower yourself. The turtle reminds you that you are sovereign, that you carry sanctuary within you. Become the turtle, not the boats. Embody the energy of the turtle. Remember, you're on shore. You can go into the water when you need to. You don't have to stay there. You're part of the earth. You're part of the sea. You're part of Gaia. You belong here. You're part of it. Honor your cycles. You know, and turtles have this long migration, so your progress is not meant to be linear. When you judge yourself for not moving fast enough, then you'll fuel this victimhood mentality. When you honor cycles and how progress comes in this cyclical fashion, and you honor that it has its own rhythm and pace, then you claim your power. And you know, when the turtle goes into the water, even if it's wavy, turtles know how to swim with the current and they ride the waves. It doesn't discourage them. It makes them stronger. They're able to do it. They can go, thousands of miles. You're the wise turtle, all right, who's able to navigate these different realms. The Empress is the great mother, the fertile one, the embodiment of creativity and voice, of your soul expressed through your body. So she's speaking not only with words, but with presence, with beauty, with life-giving energy. This is embodying your beliefs. You're being called to recognize what you say, all right, and how you say it. Remember, if you're saying things like, why does this always happen to me? Why can't I catch a break? Then the universe is going to respond with answers that you probably don't like. It's going to create more, or what else can happen, right? What else can go wrong? If you ask that, it will be answered. And so you want to begin to embody a different type of energy. Otters, they embody play and flow and trust. Look at this mama otter floating on her back with her baby on her chest. The mother otter shows safety, nurturance, and the ease of love that needs no proving. When you speak from the place of nurturance and playfulness, your soul's voice is heard without effort. Your guides want you to know you're safe. Just like this otter feels safe, just like this turtle with his shell on his back feels safe. You're safe. They got your back. And we see this clear quartz floating above them, which amplifies, clarifies, and directs energy. Again, where the attention goes, the energy flows. So it takes what's within you and it shines it outward without distortion. We see in this image all the cloudy distortion, right? Crystal clarity, embodying, aligning your words and your actions, your feelings, your thoughts, your phrases with what it is that you want to create. When your thoughts and words are aligned with your desires, they become crystalline, magnified, and they transmit it purely. The Empress speaks with her soul's voice because she's not trying to prove anything. She's not trying to compel or convince or argue. She knows her words create life. So to align your words with your desires, let them become energy. Let them come from the energy of already being nurtured and safe, like the baby otter resting in perfect trust. In fact, they're showing me you watching things like this and identifying with it. Just like if you could watch a scary movie and you identify with the person getting chased and you're clutching your pillow and you're sitting at the edge of your seat, watch something that makes you feel safe and nurtured and cared for, and embody that energy the same way you would with a scary movie. Otters teach us that words don't always have to be serious incantations. Your soul's voice, otters are very playful. So your soul's voice emerges when you allow that playfulness, that creativity, that lightness, humor, joy into your language. So try letting your words dance, letting them ripple on the water, you know. Catch yourself if you are going to say something like, what else can go wrong, or great, or they're probably not going to have what I want. Stop predicting the future in a negative way and start saying, let's see what good comes out of this. Let's see what aligns with my highest good today, what aligns with my desires today. Let's see how life surprises me in a delightful way today. Change your speech. Break up your patterns. And speak in images and sensations. See it, embody it, feel it. The Empress is sensory. So think of smells and textures, flowers, bodies, nature. When aligning your words with your desires, bring them to life through your imagination, through imagery. Instead of, I want peace, you might say, I breathe the stillness of the forest and it lives in me. That is soul language. Speak with soul language, they're saying. Soul language is more like poetry, and you may even look for poetry that speaks to your desires, that embody what you want to feel, or write the poetry yourself. Imagine your words passing through a crystal so that it filters anything that's misaligned and it dissolves it, and only the clear, shimmering essence of your soul's desire flows out. All right, the sword of truth, the Ace of Swords. If you begin to align yourself with the sea turtle and going with the flow and trusting that things work out for you, even if it seems like it's something that's not what you want, let's see what good comes out of this. And aligning your desires with what you speak, and you speak with your soul's voice, what you will get is clarity, truth, discernment, and new beginnings. It's going to transform your life. It's going to be a whole new way of living. It cuts through illusion. It reveals the pure essence of thought and word. Swords are thoughts, words, communication, ideas. It's the element of air. And we see these mushrooms here. Mushrooms are ancient teachers rooted in the mycelium network, the hidden networks, carriers of transformation and unseen wisdom. These particular mushrooms suggest vitality, magic, and the courage to speak what is usually kept underground. We see here a butterfly, transformation, rebirth, and the soul taking wing. The butterfly shows that your speech becomes not just communication, but metamorphosis. It transmutes and transforms you and your life. And it's not only going to affect you, but it's going to affect those who hear you. The mountains are challenges, endurance, higher vision. They remind you that your soul speech will not always be easy. It will call you upward, but the view from the summit is crystalline clarity, right? When you're up there, you can see the whole picture. You can see everything. And that's what's going to happen is you're going to rise, you're going to elevate yourself, and you're going to expand yourself. By embodying the turtle's steadiness and cultivating your soul speech, you will be able to speak with precision and clarity and authority, and your words will no longer scatter your energy. They will cut clean lines of truth. And like the butterfly, your words will transform. Speaking with your soul's voice will change you and those around you, and your words will become living catalysts. They're magic, you know? Your words are magic that bring forth hidden truths, ancestral wisdom, insights from your unconscious. And mushrooms tend to grow in the dark. So it's saying what once lived in shadow will be spoken into light. The ace is always a beginning. This outcome is not a final, resting place. This is, if you embody this and speak this way, this is a whole new life starting, a whole new chapter of your life. Your clarity of thought and speech will set you on a whole new path aligned with a higher vision, like the mountains, and higher good. Reading number 2. So excited for you. This is such a powerful message. And if you saw these words, victim consciousness, in the intro and you still came to this reading, please let me know. Because you are not a victim. You are powerful. And that's what your ancestors want you to know. You are a powerful being. What you have endured has been a lesson, an initiation. It's part of your story, but it's not who you are. It's not your identity. You are a person that speaks magic into the world. Your words become things. I am wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye. Hello, reading number 3. You chose the card Pride. And pride is one of those things that makes us feel like we're right. Maybe we're not open to other people's ideas or ways of doing things, or it could be black and white thinking. And it can have the effect of limiting our growth when we don't allow ourselves to see what other people have to offer in their knowledge, their perspective, their experience. It can be very limiting if all that we allow is what we know. It can create stagnation, and it can disrupt relationships. I feel that if you have been experiencing, for example, confrontation with others, conflicts, like feeling like you're right, it's coming from a wound, something from the past, where being wrong made you feel unsafe. And Shungite is 2 billion years old. It's formed nearly out of it's nearly pure carbon. It is renowned for its ability to absorb and neutralize and transmute negative or chaotic energy. So spiritually, it acts like a deep cleanse, washing away stagnant vibrations, psychic residue, and environmental fog. It has a subtle electric magnetic shielding. So some people can feel Shungite's ability to soften the effects of EMFs from technology. And as a pyramid, this particular one, its energy field expands and redirects disruptive waves, creating a protective cocoon around your space. Its deep black essence resonates with the root chakra, anchoring you into Earth's stability. Working with Shungite helps dissolve anxiety, fear, and disconnection, replacing them with embodied presence. And this entire reading today has really been so aligned, the cards with the crystals that came out in the intro. Because, like I said, it's from this wound where you're afraid that if you're wrong, you're unsafe. And here we have Shungite that helps to dissolve that fear. It is called the Stone of Evolution because it catalyzes. And in this pyramid form, it helps you release outdated patterns quickly and integrate new frequencies with clarity and structure. Traditionally, Shungite has been used to purify water. Spiritually, it performs the same function for your aura, filtering toxins, emotional, energetic, mental, and restoring you to your clearer blueprint. So let's get some cards and find out more about that. All right. So we want to ask how you can dissolve the fear or emotions surrounding this pride, right? Because this pride is like, it's a survival behavior. It's something you learn to survive your, I think this is 3 cards, which is what I wanted to pull. All right. It was so cool how they just came out that way. All right. We have the 10 of Wands, 5 of Cups, and 10 of Swords. Wow. Yeah. Definitely some wounds from the past that the Shungite can clear and filter.
let me adjust something. All right, the Ten of Wands is being overburdened. It's wands are action, they're work. And so it's carrying too much, straining under weight of something that could be shared, set down, or maybe carried in a different way that's more energy economic. So spiritually, it symbolizes beliefs that create heaviness, pressure, and exhaustion. So the belief beneath the fear of being wrong is that it's all on you. You might carry the unconscious belief that if you make a mistake, everything will collapse because you alone hold the responsibility. And this burden makes every choice feel like high stakes, feeding the fear of being wrong. You might feel that you have to prove your worth through doing. The Ten of Wands suggests you're carrying everything. You're overworking, you're overcarrying. It's a deep belief that value is earned through effort, achievement, perfection. So being wrong feels like failure rather than part of growth. And you might feel like if you drop one of these wands, you're going to let everyone down. So it's, many times this card shows devotion to others' needs. You might hold the belief that mistakes can cause harm, not just to you, but to those who depend on you. And that magnifies the fear of misstepping. And maybe you feel responsible for holding it all together. I mean, this bird is carrying these wands and is threatened by lightning of storms. And you might feel this pressure to hold it all together. There might be a belief that if you are the glue holding situations, relationships, or projects intact, then being wrong feels dangerous because it risks unraveling everything. And there's also this fear of not being perfect. At its root, the Ten of Wands can carry the belief that if you do it all right, flawlessly, you'll be safe from criticism, from rejection, from abandonment. And again, this belief is just fueling the fear of error, of making a mistake, because imperfection feels vulnerable, like being exposed. It feels raw in a very uncomfortable, I want to say embarrassing way. But that is not the reality. So you're being called to release what's not yours, to redefine mistakes as opportunities, as fertilizer, as compost that feeds growth, to shift from proving your worth to just allowing and being. Your worth is intrinsic, not in how perfectly you carry burdens. And trust in shared strength. The belief that you have to hold it all alone is an illusion. Others can and will carry with you. And the Five of Cups, we see these 3 cups here spilled. In its essence, it's the card of mourning what has been lost, or what we thought we needed to cling to. It acknowledges the sorrow of the spilled cups, but it reminds us of the full cups still waiting to be seen. Release outdated beliefs. Release these outdated beliefs. So to do that, you may name them, you may grieve them, you may honor them. They helped you navigate and survive in the past, but they're outdated now. And then turn towards what remains true, right? Because these are no longer valid, they're outdated, but there are truths that you still have that are valid. So the fear of being wrong, the burden of responsibility, these beliefs, they served you, they kept you safe, they gave you a framework to move through uncertainty. But to release them, you have to first allow yourself to mourn their necessity. Mourn that past you that had to use those tactics, those skills, those survival tools. And it's okay to feel sad as they loosen. It's okay to mourn them. I mean, these look like tears, right? The spilled cups in the card are symbols. You might write each outdated belief on paper. There's 3 spilled cups, so maybe there's 3, maybe there's more, but see if you can come up with 3. Place the pages in a bowl of water and let the ink blur and wash away, and honor that they once held something, but now they're empty vessels, waiting for you to fill them with something else. You know, these are aspects of yourself that took on a role that you no longer need. It's like when a company reorganizes and it's like, we used to have somebody that created that greeted people at the doors. Like we had security at the doors to make sure everybody who entered the building was supposed to be entering the building. But now we have these tags. So we don't need that person at the door anymore. But this person is a good worker. So we're not going to get rid of them. We're going to change the roles. They're going to instead, now they're going to create these tags, these badges for everyone. So we're going to give them a new role. Instead of standing guard, they're going to create. They're going to take pictures and they're going to create. So these cups are aspects of you that kept you safe by making sure that you were viewed as perfect and right. And now you can empty them and let go of those old roles. Let the water seep into the ground and nourish the next thing, and alchemize yourself in that way. And let these aspects of you take on a new role. And remember that every mistake it's not being wrong, all right? It's like these cups spilling. It nourishes the ground, and release comes not by denying the mistake, but by seeing its hidden gift, what it reveals. And then we have the 10 of Swords. We see here a deer, a fawn. It's innocent, it's tender, it's vulnerable. And so if we see it pierced with these swords, it seems like this deep pain of betrayal, of endings, of being overwhelmed. It's part of you that has felt defenseless. The swords represent mental anguish, overthinking, self-sabotage, and the final collapse of old cycles. This is the absolute ending of something, a point where there is no carrying on as before. I mean, you have two tens. You have the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. Definitely something is coming to an end for you. And Wands are the element of fire, action, work. So something with what you're doing coming to an end, how you're acting. And the 10 of Swords is thoughts and words. So the way that you think and communicate, that chapter is ending, which means there's a new beginning. So just as Shungite absorbs negativity, you are asked to let the swords stop here. No more recycling of the pain. No more replaying the old beliefs. Your body becomes the filter where toxic thoughts are acknowledged, neutralized, and then released. So they don't move forward into new cycles. They become the compost. They become what nourishes that future growth. And the fawn reminds you that you don't have to be armored like steel. Shungite works through presence and density, not aggression. You emulate it by being grounded, quiet, steady, even in your vulnerability. And the 10 of Swords is the final card in this suit before we go into the court cards. It says, this is done. The fear of being wrong, the overburden, that all of that has run its course. And what dies becomes that fertile ground. And you know, this fawn is lying still, like it's resting. These swords aren't real. They're the element of air. Shungite's energy isn't frantic. It's dense, silent, absorbing. So you emulate it by not reacting to every sword, not reacting to every word that others speak, but by absorbing, alchemizing, and transmuting silently until the clarity comes forward. You can use Shungite if you don't have any and put it near your root chakra or on the ground before you to anchor you. And, you know, use your breath, right? Have you ever heard, you know, take a deep breath and count to 10? I mean, we have 10 swords here, and swords are about air. So when other people's words activate that past response, because that's not you anymore, it's who you used to be, but you're not surviving the same things anymore. So you're putting down those tools. But if it does rise up, take a deep breath, count to 10. Ask yourself, what is it that they're telling me? Remind yourself that you're safe. And you're going to be able to transmute this. This is huge. Reading number 3. Please let me know how this resonates. I love to read your comments, and I am wishing you the best. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you. Bye.